Alright, well, we were supposed to get married August 20th. But we had a Canadian postal strike. That lasted for about 4 weeks or so. So I had all my name change stuff done, like all those documents all done. I brought them up to the post office, actually the police station, to get the phone and stuff done, and then I realized there was a postal strike, so I couldn't send anything in, considering every official document in Canada has to be sent in via Canada Post. I just ate that microphone. And so, by the time the postal strike ended, it was too late for us to get documents in by August 20th. It was also too late for us to book anything. So therefore, we will probably set a date for next summer, or January 5th. But yeah, it's a matter of us getting up off our asses and actually send, because now I can send in stuff, but the issue is I don't want to send in documents and not have them approved and then go traveling. Because I just have this irrational fear of me being in another country and having like my name and stuff changed while in another country, and then trying to come back and they're just like, this does not match your official government information. That means step in another country. Well, they thought we were terrorists coming in the UK. I want to tell this story. It really makes me mad. Although we really should have prepared more, but we got off the plane, went to customs, like, this is going to be so awesome. It's going to be just like Canadian customs, not like American customs. They suck. So we waddled on up there, and the guy sort of gave us these looks, and then he asked who we were staying with. And we said, Kelly's and her last name, and then Jen's last name. And then he's just like, well, where do they live? We're like, we're not sure exactly. He's like, how do you know them? The internet? And from there, it was downhill from there. I mean, like, this guy went through, like, all of our papers and, like, counted out all the money we had. Wouldn't count her credit card because he said it could be maxed out for all I know. Asked me why I was missing a week of school. Then I guess he thought I wasn't actually a student. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it took us a total of maybe, like, 20 minutes. When it usually takes us 10. It really wasn't that long, but I mean, I was sweating. I was so afraid of this big man.
I have friends who couldn't get here, and it would be awesome if you could get say hello to me.
Okay, what's your name?
Say your name, me.
Okay, what was that? What's your name?
Her name is Miyu.
Miyu?
Miyu.
Can I call her me? Hi, me from Denmark. I enjoy being on Danish people here. Hopefully we can come to Denmark someday. I really do want to go to Denmark. Yeah.
It was just turned up now. And it's not even me. It's been zombified.
Okay, this varies. Usually for me, a week tops. Usually, I mean, if I'm really into it, if I'm not angry or something, it takes me about a day. Peter Pan I made in a day while watching, what was I watching? Sister Wives. If I'm really motivated, I can do it in about a day. But I'm not a stickler for detail, nor am I an English major, nor am I a perfectionist. Jenna?
I'm usually about the same. I don't know, I sit down at the sewing machine and I'll just work on it all day, and usually I can finish a costume in a day or two at the most. Yeah, I don't know. It really varies though, because if something has armor and it's a little more complicated, then it'll usually take a few days.
I think you'll find that if you like rage quit, and not actually quit, just the rage part, through all of your cosplays, you can make them pretty fast. Because if you just get in the mindset of just like, oh, I just need to finish this booger, then, I mean, it doesn't take very long. I know some people spend like months on their cosplays, but I just don't have the patience for that. I get too mad, I don't want to wear it.
Yeah, could you please say hi to my friend from Denmark? Her name is Sandra.
What's her name?
Sandra.
Sandra? Can we say Sandra? I can't say with the accent.
Sorry. Yeah, you can do that.
Hi, Sandra from Denmark.
No.
I've tried to learn words from the different people, like, who speak different languages. Can you teach me a word?
What kind of word would you like to know?
Any word. Like, what's hello?
Hi.
Alright. Awesome. What's awesome?
Sight.
Sight? Sight. Am I saying it right?
Sight.
She's just like, oh, not really. Stop talking.
What's the most complex cosplay you've ever made?
You don't do complex.
I always answer with this. It's been like ongoing the past like 6 panels I've done. The answer to this question is always Kuja. And it's not really the most complex cosplay I've ever done. It's just that, while trying to figure out the crotch piece, I just looked at it, and I don't know what happened. I don't actually remember making this cosplay. That's the weird part. So I'm going to say it was very complex to make, just because I have no recollection.
For me, it was probably Crad from Dean Angel, because one, the wig's really complex, the wings took forever, and when I made it, I didn't know how to sew. So tackling that costume as a first-time thing was pretty difficult. Oh, and Muto from Princess Tutu with the raven wings. Yeah, that was stupid of me to try.
We stayed up an entire night finishing Muto stuff, and I think you were like,
my sewing machine broke.
oh yeah, your sewing machine broke at the con. So we like stacked 2 beds on the side of a room in the place we were staying, and we just duct taped all night long. Everyone else was just sort of sitting outside in like the living room, just sort of twiddling their thumbs when the breaks coming to bother us. And like we were also doing the Ruby Moon wig that she did to the same con, and I glue gunned around. I just took a clump of hair and I stuck it on there, and it burnt my fingers so bad that I didn't even care. I just wanted it done.
Also, Ruby Moon almost burnt down my house. I was making Sculpey beads at 3 a.m. the night before we left. And instead of putting it in the actual oven, like you're supposed to, I put it in a toaster oven, which is like a smaller version of an oven. And yeah, it caught on fire. And it melted my toaster oven. And luckily I smelt it burning. So I went running into the kitchen, saw that my toaster oven was on fire, woke up my parents, and they weren't very happy with me.
There are lots of cosplays we've almost died in. There are very few that are like, I would say complicated or hard to make. Just like they cause injury or near like toxic death afterwards.
Was sewing something that you did before cosplay, or was it something you learned during or before cosplay?
I was really afraid of a sewing machine for a long time. Yeah, sewing, I mean, I never actually planned to sew anything. My big plan was to get other people to sew what I needed. That didn't work. My friend Calibri helped me to learn how to, like, the basics of sewing. And I didn't sew for a long, long time. I would only sew when I really needed to, because I didn't have a sewing machine. And finally when I got one, and I was actually able to use it on a regular basis, that's when I actually learned how to sew. Mind you, this was only about 1.5 years ago. Until then, I was faking everything. Glue. Most of my cosplays are glue. I'm terrible. I'm absolutely horrible at sewing.
For me, I learned how to hand sew when I was younger, and my first costume Kagome was hand sewed, and it looked really dumb. And then, yeah, Calibri taught me the basics of sewing, and because I just kind of taught myself. So. Oh, you up there.
You too.
Yeah, do you have any, like, hobbies before conference?
I spent most of my high school playing hockey. I was almost always at tournaments, so I mean I practiced like 4 or 5 days a week and played on the weekends, so that's really all I did for a long time. I was a goaltender, so I had like severe anxiety disorder from being a goaltender in hockey. So I sort of went into cosplay to just relax and do something, you know, quote-unquote nerdy for once. Because, I mean, before that it was just sports. Like, I just only did sports. And when you only concentrate on one thing, it gets really stressful. So, yeah, before that, I mean, I played almost every single type of sports, but hockey, ice hockey, mind you, was the main one. And football, and not soccer football, but...
For me, my biggest hobby was writing, and I still write. I also did a lot of reading and drawing, and then I did swimming sports, so like synchronized swimming and diving, and yeah, that was my hobby.
And that turns out being helpful in cosplay because we were doing an underwater photo shoot. And I can't swim. Well, I can swim, but I can't, you know, swim. And she's a really good swimmer. So we were doing underwater photos, and I was really afraid because I had a dolphin tail, like, on my head, so I couldn't even use my leg. So we were doing underwater photos. I also can't open my eyes underwater. I'm always afraid I'm going to drown. It's just a horrible situation. So I almost drowned because I couldn't resurface for some reason. I was just like kicking underwater, and she had to save me lifeguard style. So my hockey has never come into play. Cosplaying, but swimming has.